All right, Pippin, are we going to show everyone how to harvest basil? Come here. We going to show everybody? Well, that cup was supposed to be for my basil. Somebody was thirsty. Okay, got a new glass of water now. Okay, so here's my basil plant, guys, and it's looking really good and healthy right now, but definitely in need of a trim because if I don't harvest this, it'll start to flower soon, and we don't want that because we want the basil to keep on growing throughout the season. So yeah, it is very important definitely to harvest your basil before you start seeing flowers. These don't look like they're getting close to flowering yet, but they could if I don't harvest soon. So a lot of people, at least I get a lot of questions from friends of mine who grow basil. They always want to know where best to cut whenever you are harvesting basil. So if you look at the plant here, you'll see several, let's take one of these for example, you'll see several sets of leaves. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you cut where there's still two sets of leaves underneath it. So like on this one, I would cut right here. And then this will keep branching out and producing more basil off of that little shoot. So like some of these, like this one, I'll probably cut down further because it has several sets of leaves. So yeah, let me try to show you an example. This is gonna be kind of hard with just one hand, but I'll try my best. So let's look at this one for example. There's sets of leaves down there, and then there's another branch right there with more sets there, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this one all the way down here. Okay, and I'm going to put that in my jar of water. Okay, and it holds better that way too. If you can get longer stems, that's kind of better because they keep better, because you don't want to put basil in the fridge because it'll wilt your basil. So it's good to keep them in a glass of water in the house until you're ready to use it. And you want to try to use it pretty quickly because it'll start changing its flavor too. That's another thing that you want to be careful with too with basil is don't let it flower because it will change the flavor of the basil. I think it makes it more bitter. So the one that I cut, I'll just show you, is right there. So it still has some leaves underneath it. So just to show you again, like this one has another branch there. So I'm going to cut probably somewhere up here. And then over here, it's kind of hard to zoom or to focus, sorry. I'll cut up here on this one. So you just want to make sure that there's sets of leaves underneath it where you're going to cut. You don't want to cut all the way at the bottom because then it'll stop its growth. So always make sure it has a second set of leaves underneath it. Like this one right here, I will cut right here. So I'll do that right now actually. Okay. And we're going to put it in our cup. It's pretty easy, but yeah. So let me go ahead and harvest this and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Okay. Oh, there goes my dog barking. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this is what it looks like afterwards. Pippin, come here. And I didn't want to cut too much because then I didn't want to stunt my plant. So yeah, I'm going to let the rest of this grow, and you'll see here in like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, it's really going to bush out big after this. But this is what I harvested. I got quite a bit here, so I can actually make some pesto or something with that. That sounds really good actually, so we'll make that this week. This is some of my Thai basil that's growing in one of my tomato pots, and I just want to show you real quick too. One way to get a lot of basil out of this is to start to go ahead and start kind of topping some of these so that they can branch out more. So like for example, this one, I'm gonna go ahead, this has like the true leaves are down there at the or these are the first set of true leaves, and then there's more leaves here. I'm gonna go ahead and pinch it off the top right here. And what that's gonna do is just gonna keep branching out and making more basil for me. So you can do that with a lot of these. Let's see. So I'll go ahead on this one. I'll pinch that top part off. And more will grow. So you can do that with all your basil that's kind of small. You just want to make sure you don't get the first set of true leaves. Like this one, I'm going to go ahead and pinch this top part off, and it's going to branch out and make more for me. Well, that's about it, guys. I hope that was helpful and useful, and I hope you guys are able to grow some really good bushy basil. Take care. Actually, guys, just one more thing since we're talking about basil. You can actually root basil too, and you can take one of those stems that you harvested, put it in water, and keep it by the sun, and it'll create roots like this, and then you can start a whole new basil plant, and you can just put that right in the soil and you'll have a whole new plant. And I can tell you, by the end of the season, you will definitely get a lot of basil even from this one little stem. It's pretty incredible. So yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.